Good morning students. Today we are going to study the chapter of unemployment. Now you were familiar with this word, isn't it? Unemployment. What does it mean? It literally, almost all of you will say that jobless situations. Okay, now in economics we are giving it a more detailed meaning. Let us see what we mean by unemployment in economics. In economics we are calling a person employed if he or she has spent most of the previous week working at a paid job. Okay, that means suppose who have joined the job for 1 week, we are not considering that person to be employed. Okay, he has to work for previous say 1 month, then only we are considering him or her to be in the employment group. So what can be the definition of unemployment? A person is say unemployed if he or she is on temporary layoff, is looking for a job or is waiting for the start of a new job. So what is mandatory for the definition of unemployment is that person is of course jobless, but he should be available and also looking for a job. So in that case, we will not consider the housewives or the full-time students or the retired persons to be considered in unemployment situations, isn't it? Because they are not looking for a job. So those who are looking for a job but are not getting the job, we are considering those persons to be unemployed. Now, a person, and so these full-time students or the homemaker or the retiree, these types of persons will come under not in labor force. We are not considering those persons in the labor force itself. Now, so the labor force consists of total number of workers, including both the employed and the unemployed. And we are measuring the unemployment rate as the percentage of the labor force that is unemployed. So how the formula will look like? The formula looks like this: unemployment rate equals to number unemployed divided by labor force into 100. Okay, and another, you have to remember another thing, that is the labor force participation rate. The labor force participation rate, it is defined as a percentage of the adult population that is in the labor force, and its formula is labor force divided by adult population into 100. Okay, now we got the definition of unemployment and also how we can measure unemployment. But our question arises whether these unemployment rate measure, it is measuring the same thing what it wanted to or not. Now the problem arises over here is we cannot distinguish, or it is difficult to distinguish between a person who is unemployed and a person who is not in the labor force. Suppose a person who has completed a degree like say MBA. After that, might be she or he is looking for a job for some time. After that, he got discouraged, not found any appropriate job of his or her own. Okay, and then he or she decided in his or her mind that they will not do the job. In that case, suppose if it is a girl, then the girl got married to someone and became a housewife. But that will not be get reported in the unemployment side, isn't it? The country will think that that person is still unemployed. So, unemployment measure, it cannot capture the discouraged workers, that means people who would like to work but have given up looking for jobs after an unsuccessful search, don't show up in unemployment statistics. Okay, and other side may be that other people may claim to be unemployed in order to receive financial assistance. If government gives unemployment dole, this may be the case, even though they aren't looking for work. Okay, now, so most of the economist unemployment problem is attributable to relatively few workers who are jobless for long periods of time. Now, there are few categories of unemployment, or the problem of unemployment can be divided into two types. One is long run problem and the other is short run problem. Now in the long run we face the problem of natural rate of unemployment, and in the short run we face the problem of cyclical rate of unemployment. Now what do we mean by natural rate of unemployment? Natural rate of unemployment is an unemployment that does not go away on its own even in the long run. So some portion or some amount of unemployment, it remains throughout a long period of time. Okay, and it is the amount of unemployment that the economy normally experiences. Now this word normal or natural, it doesn't mean that it is desirable. Okay, it means that it is not going away, and that's why it is remaining normally, and that's why the word natural has came over here. Okay, now what do we mean by cyclical rate of unemployment? Cyclical refers to the year-to-year fluctuations in unemployment around its natural rate. If we draw a graph of unemployment rate and time, say time over here, and the y-axis we are taking unemployment rate, then the natural unemployment will look like this and the year-to-year fluctuations may look like this. Okay, this straight line, it may be called the natural rate of unemployment, and these deviations from the natural rates, these are called cyclical rate of unemployment. Okay, so the deviations from the natural rate are called the cyclical rate. It arises and then goes away. So it is a short run phenomenon. It is associated with short term ups and downs of the normal business cycle of the economy. Now, why this natural rate? Why we are telling that some people are always remaining unemployed in the country? This is because when we are saying unemployment is in an ideal labor market, wages would adjust to balance the supply and demand for labor, ensuring that all workers will be fully employed. That means what? If we are drawing the labor market graph or the demand and supply of labor market, so then what we are having over here, we are having quantity of labor in the x-axis, and in the y-axis we are having the price of labor, or that means the wage of labor. Okay, now let this be the demand curve for labor demand, and let this be the supply curve for labor supply. Now this equilibrium point determines the equilibrium wage of labor, and this is the equilibrium quantity of labor. So this determines the balance between the supply and demand in labor. So the wage is determining this balance. Okay. Now let us see why unemployment still remains. One form is called frictional unemployment. Now what is meant by frictional unemployment? The definition goes like this, that unemployment that results from the time that it takes to match workers with jobs. Okay, now suppose what happened, you people have passed MBA, very good and fine, isn't it? Suppose now you have not got on-campusing jobs, then what you have to do? You have to search for jobs off-campusing. Now this may take time, isn't it? 1 month, 2 months, even 1 year also. But you will get job, you will not remain unemployed. Okay, but this time taken for you people to get the job, this transitory time, you are remaining unemployed, isn't it? And this type of unemployed is called frictional unemployed, the time taken for the job search. In other words, it takes time for workers to search for the jobs that are best suit their taste and skills, as what I have told just now. So some fractional unemployment is inevitable. It cannot be deleted because every year, every time there are some people who are searching for jobs or are waiting for a new job. Okay, because the economy is always changing and so is the composition of demand in industries or region. That's why suppose you have prepared for MBA degree and earlier days, suppose those who have got MBA degree, it was easier for within 1 month they used to get job. Now the economy has changed. The supply of MBA students had increased. So the chances of getting jobs for the MBA has decreased, isn't it? So the economy is changing. So this fractional unemployment is always staying within the economy. Another reason behind this natural rate of unemployment is structural unemployment. And the definition goes like this, that unemployment that results because the number of jobs available in some labor markets is insufficient to provide a job for everyone who wants one. Okay, that means for every job, be it a agricultural work, or be it a executive director, or be it a assistant professor. Everywhere we are seeing there is excess supply of labor than what is demanded in the market. Okay, that's why we are always finding some people remaining unemployed, and that depends upon the structural composition of the country. That's why it is called structural unemployment. Now, to find out the reason behind the structural unemployment, there are some reasons that we already found out. One is the minimum wage laws. Second, the union formation, and third is the efficiency wage theory. Now I will go through one by one of this. What do we mean by minimum wage laws? The minimum wage laws, it says that when the minimum wage is set above the level that balances supply and demand, it creates unemployment. As I have shown in this figure, that the wage that will balance supply and demand is this WE. Okay, but if the minimum wage is fixed above this equilibrium wage, suppose over here, then what will happen? Supply is greater than demand, isn't it? Labor supply is greater than labor demand over here. That's why an excess supply of labor is remaining in the market, which is creating the unemployment. Now this minimum wage law has been done by the government in various countries, even in India also. That's why we are always facing an excess supply of labor in our country. Secondly, these situations, that is, wage has been given a downward rigidity. It cannot move below this. Minimum wage is fixed over here. These situations also arises when there is a form of union. If in a factory, what do you mean by union? A union is a worker association that bargains with employers over wages and working conditions. This is very much familiar. You all know about this definition of union. Now, if in a factory such unions exist, then what they will do? They will bargain with the employer not to decrease their wage beyond a certain level. Let us name this certain level as the minimum wage. Okay, so what is wage? This union is acting as a type of cartel, attempting to exert its market power of controlling the wage in the factory. Okay, so how they are doing this? They are doing this by the process called collective bargaining. Okay, the process by which unions and firms agree on the terms of employment is called collective bargaining. Okay, and by this process, they are forcing the employer to not to pay below this wage limit. Okay, so in that the same case, again the wage is remaining above the equilibrium wage, and we are having excess supply of labor in the economy, and we are having the unemployment. And if this is not fulfilled, then they are going for a strike which will be organized. The union and firm cannot reach an agreement. This is all familiar and known to all. Now the second, we are skipping this everything. We are now going to the third thing, which is called the efficiency wage theory. According to this theory, efficiency wages are considered to be those wages which are above equilibrium, and they are paid by firms in order to increase worker productivity. Here, not the labor is wanting that the wage will be remaining over here. Not the government is telling that the wage should remain over here. Here the employer himself is wanting that I will give, if I am an employer, I will give wage which is above the equilibrium to increase my worker productivity. And if these can increase my worker productivity, then that obviously would be efficient for my firm. So, the theory of efficiency wages, it states that firms operate more efficiently if wages are paid above the equilibrium level. And the reason that a firm is preferring to pay higher above equilibrium wages are, one is worker health. It's obvious that better paid workers eat a better diet, and if they eat a better diet, then they are becoming more productive, isn't it? So, and the second reason is worker turnover. A higher paid worker is obviously less likely to look for another job, isn't it? So, for this reason, the employer is wanting to give more wages. The other reasons are worker effort. That means higher wages motivate workers to put forward their best effort. Okay? And the last reason is higher wages attract a better pool of workers to apply for jobs. So these also enhance the worker quality, and all these will increase the productivity of the worker, which will increase the efficiency of the factory or the workplace, isn't it? That's why the employer is also wanting to give wage to a labor above the equilibrium wage rate. Now we have seen, see, government is wanting minimum, by setting up the minimum wage law, that WM should be paid, not WE. The labor, by the formation of union, wanting that the WM should be paid, not WE. And also employer is also wanting that WM should be paid, not WE. And that's why we are finding that excess supply of labor to always exist in the market, in the labor market, and so we are facing structural unemployment, and hence the natural unemployment is remaining. Now what government can do? Government can decrease the time of this job search and can decrease the frictional unemployment. Okay, so government programs can affect the time it takes unemployment workers to find new jobs. This can be done by programs like government run employment agencies, public training programs, and unemployment insurance. Now government run employment agencies, it gives out information about job vacancies in order to match workers and jobs more quickly. The public training programs, it aim to ease the transition of workers from declining to growing industries and to help disadvantaged groups escape poverty. And the third, that is unemployment insurance, is a government program that partially protects workers' incomes when they become unemployment. With these, government can decrease the frictional unemployment and can decrease the natural rate of unemployment. Okay? The whole chapter has been taught from the 6th edition, chapter 15 of Principles of Macroeconomics by Mankey. Thank you.